Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another Guild Wars 2 PvP build guide with gameplay. Been a long time since I've done one of these. And we're on Ranger again, Decap Druid, Control-Shift-H, and this is probably my favourite build right now. I've been playing so many games on it. I usually don't play a Ranger very much, but it's gone up quite a bit. It was on 75 recently, and I've been doing pretty well with it, I'd say, more wins than losses anyway, and the build focuses around decapping points, winning your 1v1s because it's really strong in 1v1, and even sustaining because of all the healing power you have. And it also applies a lot of dazes or stuns because of a trait we have. As my ranger, by the way, it looks really cool. This is my first character, same as my account name, Waveguider. PvP, yeah. First character, but I don't play it PvP very much. I don't even think I've played it very much. Yeah, not many hours. But, sorry, into the build. So, yeah, the dies are Amenity, Green Apple, and Abyss. We have Marksmanship, Beast Mastery, and Druid. Actually, let's go through the weapons and all that first. Sorry, it's been a while since I've done one of these. And I'll also have a few videos of gameplay with this for the PvP video series. And that's been going pretty well. But, sorry, it took a while to get really good footage of this build, but the footage I got is really good. I don't have commentary on it though, but I'll probably do a voiceover type thing, which is different from what I normally do. It's usually like live commentary, but here we go, Greatsword and Staff. And on the Greatsword we have Doom and Blood. Blood is the same as Fire Sigil. They're exactly the same. This one does more AoE damage, but since the build is more focused around 1v1s, it actually steals health. So that means you deal a certain amount of damage and you get that much health back. Same cooldown, same chance, everything. So this is a lot better for the 1v1s. And then Doom for the poison. I love this sigil. You inflict poison for 8 seconds, and it has a 9-second cooldown, or 10 seconds because you can't swap weapons every 9 seconds. And so you pretty much have permanent poison uptime without running the poison glyph or dagger offhand. And then we have Hydromancy for the chill, and Doom for the... Actually, these are switched around. Oh, they're switched around right now. Because you usually want to run Hydromancy on the Greatsword. Let's just equip a staff here, and then a Greatsword here. And then a staff here, that will switch them back. So yep, the Greatsword runs Hydromancy and Doom. The staff is the Blood one, because it crits more often, because the auto attack triggers more often. And then durability, of course, because that's pretty much the best one. There's also an alternative Ranger, or Druid, sorry. Druid Rune, which gives you vitality and healing power. You lose the toughness, like a lot of toughness, and you gain quite a bit of healing power. So a bit more sustain, I guess, but a bit more burst healing, but less sustain. And this one also gives you boon duration, which is nice. And our boons come from We Heal as One, Strength of the Pack, Pet Swapping, and Greatsword gives us Fury on every so often in a trait. And so that's that. Here are our stats. Low power, but we actually have quite high burst. I'll show that off here really quickly. So pretty much your burst damage comes from your pets. You don't do much damage. With Greatsword you do okay damage if you build up a bit of might. And you can get 25 might with Strength of the Pack very easily, but has a pretty high cooldown. And then very high toughness, pretty high health for a ranger, about 23k. Crit chance is okay as well, so is crit damage. Then the Condi damage we don't really make use of very much. We don't apply many Condis. But the healing power we make a lot of use out of with our glyphs and our Selly Avatar and all our staff skills and our heal skill. But, so here on the Engineer, our F2, the pets we run as well, sorry. So Bristleback and Smokescale. So Smokescale's F2 drops a smoke screen on the ground, which you can either leap out of or blast with your 3 skills. So this is a blast finisher, this is a leap. They both apply stealth, so you might want to, at the start of the game, maybe stealth up and leap to initiate, so you get a free engage and then run up and knock someone off the point to kind of start the decap. Or, every time you switch to Smokescale, it activates this ability, Smoke Assault, which gives it might and damages quite a lot. But this only happens when you switch to it, so you usually want to start in your what's it called, Bristleback pet, and while you have Strength of the Pack activated. So your usual burst, if you want to burst an enemy, is Strength of the Pack, F2, then Hilt Bash or Glyph of Equality, so you kind of daze or stun them and lock them down, so your F2 hits. This has quite a bit of a cast time as well, and a bit of a build up. It doesn't activate instantly, so let's do that. See, it took a while to activate, then we stun this guy, and then we switch pets, and then our Smoke Scale will continue his burst. So you see that went up to about 3.7k there, and that was a pretty quick burst, and you do that over and over again on an enemy. Your Greatsword 2 is a bit of burst as well, and if we use our heal skill, or we used it properly there, we'd go up to quite a few stacks of might. And then that's pretty much the pet burst. You use your F2 here to get Smoke Field, so after you kill someone maybe you want to blast it. So blasting is area stealth, leaping is self-stealth. And then into the traits we have Marksmanship, Beast Mastery, and Druid, of course. These are pretty much all traits that you need. You can't really switch out any trait. If you want to run Longbow instead of Greatsword, you can switch this out to a Lead the Wind, but I love the Greatsword for the leap finisher, the mobility it gives you, the blocks, the knockbacks, the dazes, everything. Did we get hit? Yes, we did. Let's just get out of combat here anyway. So we have use Signal of the Wild when your health drops below the threshold. This makes you bigger, gives you a lot of stability, and deal 25% more damage. So that's a really nice trait. Also, you're pretty much your opening strikes. Every time you go out of combat you get an opening strike. It applies a vulnerability, pets have it too, and it always crits. Then, this is pretty much one of the main traits of the build, even though it's a master trait. So this increases your daze durations and stun durations by 100%. So this glyph goes from a 2-second daze to a 4-second daze, which is a big difference. You also have a 4-second daze in your Celestial Avatar form, which I'll try and show off. And your Greatsword 5 is a daze or a stun depending on where you hit them for 3 seconds. And so that's a lot of dazes and interrupts. Also the knockback you have. So let's imagine that this is a point here, and we have to decap it, so we're usually going to want to maybe drop our number 4 to get a knockback if he hits us, or not. And you usually want to try and knock people back off points. You've got to position yourself well, because it pushes foes away from you. So let's say you want to knock someone back this direction, you can't activate the skill here, you've got to move over here to knock them back that direction. None of these skills, dazes, or knockbacks work on downed, so you don't want to waste it on downs, but you can if someone is rezzing them. So we built up the avatar form. I'll show the skills off that in a little while. And then we have deal 10% more damage to any dazed, stunned. This even works for cripple, fear, and chill, same as immobilize as well. So we can cripple with Greatsword 5, do 10% more damage, and we can immobilize with Staff 4 to do a bit more damage, but that doesn't happen very often, but you can try and set it up. And then in Beast Mastery we have your pets gain 150 more stats and have reduced recharge on their skills. Then Shouts apply regen and swiftness to allies, and they have lower cooldowns, so that's a really good trait. I usually like to activate this at the start of the game just to get swiftness so I can get around faster. And it lasts like 16 seconds I think, or 14, 15, I don't know. And then Strength of the Pack as well has a lower cooldown, and these work really well together. Then we have Great 200 training. You can also run Wilting Strike, but it's a bit worse. And then, so your Greatsword skills recharge faster, helps you get around more with your Greatsword 3, because that's a really good mobility skill for getting to points really quickly at the start of the game, or any point in the game. Deal 5% more damage, not the greatest, and you gain Fury on 50% chance on hit, but it has a long cooldown of 10 seconds. So you'll see we get Fury occasionally here. And maybe we can show off the burst again. So that was a lot of burst, yeah. The bristleback triggers a lot as well, so it can like break down a lot of blocks or anything like that, like the Guardian Focus 5 and things like that. So pets move faster and deal more damage on crits. And then you gain quickness and might whenever you swap pets, so you can get some really quick stomps off. So you can get a quickness stomp maybe on the Mesmer. Let's just show off the burst. I messed that up a little bit, but it's fine. It's just a bot. And we swap pets here, gain quickness, and we can stomp a little bit faster. So that's nice for that, and a bit of might as well. That lasts 18 seconds, which is longer than the cooldown. Then Druidic Clarity, of course, for the Condi clear. 13 Condis removed and a stun break, probably one of the strongest traits with Druid line. A lot of Daze Druids like to take Primal Echoes for the Daze on the staff, but it's really nothing compared to Druidic Clarity. And then we have, when you heal an ally, you're also healed, so this helps with your sustain with your staff 1 if you heal an ally. This counts for your pet as well as an ally, by the way, so you have a lot of sustain from that trait. And then Verdant Etching is probably another really strong trait that helps with your glyph cooldown, and it heals you as well and removes conditions, so you can use your glyphs to Condi clear as well. But the Daze on this glyph is really strong, and it's a really good interrupt. So Daze means they can't activate a skill for 4 seconds, but you can't stack it, so after one Daze ends you want to primarily activate the other one, unless they use a stun break, of course, which they can block it. And that's the burst there. Probably going to get feared here. Oh, they feared my pet. And then we have, I don't really like this trait, but whenever you heal another ally you get this stack of thing on you. But yeah, it just helps with your healing on outgoing allies. Then striking a stunned, dazed, knocked down or launched foe summons roots to entangle them. This trait gets messed up a lot, considering when you daze someone and you hit them, they'll get this root thing on them, so let's wait a bit to make sure this is off cooldown. So let's daze this guy and then hit him, so he has roots around him now, but then we knock him back after that usually, so the roots are kind of pointless. So sometimes you can make use of that, sometimes you can't. Let's stun him for 3 seconds. Stun means you can't move or use skills. Daze means you can't use skills. So I prefer Daze, to be honest, because it's usually longer duration, and it means you can't activate any skills, and it forces you to waste a stun break, it makes you panic, and it's really nice. So let's go in through the Celestial Avatar skills. We'll just link them all to be sure that we get them. Okay, so the number 3 is a 4-second daze and a massive heal. Has a very quick cast time. It's one of my favorite skills. The number 2 is what you get from your glyphs. The number 4 is massive AoE healing, and the number 5 skill is a big AoE slow. And then at the end, it deals it deals a lot of damage. So that skill ticks damage and slow, and it gives you stability. So it's great for doing on points, slowing people down. I actually utilize it in the gameplay quite a lot. It's one of my favorite skills. The number 1's very hard to land and cast, so I don't end up using it too much, but it's still very good. So yeah, number 1 just heals you for 874, it calls down energy onto a targeted area, so great for healing an ally, but they can't really move so the healing, if they move, the healing doesn't really work. Then Seeds of Life is the thing you get when you summon a glyph, when you activate a glyph, so it just drops this seed on the ground that heals you. After 2 seconds it bursts and clears some condis. Number 3 is a massive lunar beam that dazes, and the number 5 here I'll show you slows. It applies slow, and then it ticks damage on the final one. It's called Black Hole. It's called Natural Convergence, but it puts a black hole on the ground, and the black hole immobilizes them on the last tick as well. It also gives you stability, if you saw there on my boon bar, so you can kind of activate it really quickly, cancel it, and then go for a stomp with quickness. That's a kind of a safe stomp. Strength of the Pack, usually a safe stomp. The glyph's blind, so you can kind of safe stomp in that way against a class with a CC like a Guardian, an Engineer, or a Warrior. There's not many Warriors in PvP though. Let's just burst this guy down really quickly. Okay. Oh my god, we're getting killed. Okay, let's maul him. So yeah, you can stomp, activate the glyph, it will pulse a blind. Maybe they can miss their CC. So I didn't really blind him there. Maybe I did anyway. And back to PvP. So yep, those are all the skills there. It pulses damage and then does a final big burst. But the damage isn't too high, but it's great for some on-point pressure. And the slowing is really nice as well, especially if someone's stomping or rezzing, you can slow them down, maybe get a chance to interrupt them. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You use the main idea of the build is to decap points, get on points, +1 fights, and daze, interrupt, and knock back people. You'll see that more in the gameplay. I can't really show it off here because there's no points or anything. But you have a lot of mobility through your Staff 3 and your Greatsword 3, so a lot of ways to engage and disengage fights, so you shouldn't really be dying too often. You have an invulnerability here from Signet of Stone, and then the double glyphs, also some sustain and CC to get people off points. Then Strength of the Pack is your big boon, like all-in skill if you're in a hard fight. And Greatsword is mainly your burst weapon. Staff is your ranged pressure weapon and healing. Staff 5 blocks projectiles. Let's see if we can solo the Lord here. Actually, that's a bit pointless. I'll just go into the gameplay. And so yeah, that's pretty much everything. I'll show off the traits again one more time. So that's the traits and the weapon skills, and the weapons and sigils and all that are here. So that's the build there. And I'll go into the gameplay here. It's pre-recorded, so I'll do a voiceover type of thing, and that's that. See you guys in a minute. Hey, this is my narration thing, voiceover thing. I've never done this before, but we're starting the match here in 5 seconds. It's a bit hard to see everything. I'm going to rush far at the start. I just went to the start of the team over there to try and get some boons from them. A really good thing you can do on this map is hide behind these trees over here so they can't catch you or like see you, and then you can rush far. And so this is like I said, a voiceover, so like it's not live, but I know what's going to happen because I played this. And then we're going to rush in here to the Dragon Hunter. He drops all his traps on us, all of them. We're going to pop our Signet. It was a bit late though. We got a lot of days on us, so we're going to try and activate our elite skill, but to get stability. It's a bit late now though. And then we're going to go into Avatar form, drop our Avatar 5, really good slow and damage there. And we kind of messed up his burst. We're going to drop our elite skill now, and go for a bit of healing with the staff, and we're going to get some really nice burst off here with Maul. We're going to interrupt him here, and then go for our heal skill because he got stunned, so we know it's safe to heal, and then just go for a bit more damage on him with sustained pressure from our glyphs. And they healed us as well, so we're currently full health right now. So we won far, and our team is winning mid, it looks like, because they generated a down. And we capped home. Home is empty, so this is a really good start to the game. This is what you always want to do on Decap Ranger. You always want to rush far at the start of the game, because Staff 3 and Greatsword 3 usually get you to the point quicker than the enemy on some maps, Legacy of the Furfire for example. And Battle of Kylo, you can usually get there very quickly. But on this map, since home is like right next to their spawn, it's a little bit more difficult. Now we know since we won mid, there's going to be a lot of people incoming here, so we either make the decision to stay or leave. We decided to stay here. We're going to have to go off point for a bit to heal up. Going to drop our number 2 and number 4. That's a very strong healing combo. Got us back up to full health. Then we're going to daze them with the number 3 and switch back. So the Ellie here is going to be a bit hard to kill, especially with this build. We're going to have to rely on our team for the damage. And we're going to try and heal up people with our glyphs and build up our avatar form just so we can use it in a bit here. And as you see, it's going up here and it's full right now. So we got Condi bombed, so it's a great time to sell the avatar. I reacted a bit late to that though. And we're going to pressure them. We got a nice knockback. We're going to slow the Necro so we can't stomp our teammate. And then we're going to cleave the Ellie down. So that was a pretty good play there. So we didn't res. We couldn't res in that situation. So we had to rally them. And then we're going to go off point here, pressure the Necro. We had to heal up a bit. We didn't want to die, obviously. I thought that was a player, so I targeted it and panicked a bit. And then this finisher also made me panic a bit. Thought that was a tornado or something. And we have a 1v1 on mid right now. And home looks fine. There's a ranger pushing home, but he's off point. We actually have an Ellie coming in again. But we have the point, so he's making a bit of a mistake here. This is the type of situation where you would try and knock them back. Maybe, I saw he had stability, but I tried to daze him anyway. A Dragon Hunter comes in for a +1 here, and I'm going to get the pressure off from Greatsword as well. Then Staff 5 +3 is a nice heal combo. There was a bug a few days ago where you could blast the Staff 3 twice on the water field. This guy is just wasting time now. I'm going to go for a quickness stomp. We should have ideally let him bleed out there on point. But, we're going to go home now because we see home is getting pressured, but we decide to go mid anyway. Mid has a friendly down and an enemy down, I think. Oh no, it just has a friendly down and an enemy down, sorry. And now we got rezzed and we won mid. So then we have one more incoming mid, and then another one comes eventually. We're going to really pressure this guy off point. I thought my team would stay on point there, but maybe not. We're going to knock the ranger back just so we can cap a little bit. So that's the whole idea of the build, knocking people back off point, dazing them, and applying enough Condi pressure to get them off point, so you can either cap or decap. We turn around, we see another Guardian coming in, and an Ellie, so we say 2 mid. type to our team because they seem to have left a little bit. So we're going to pop our Signet just as the Guardian Longbow 2'd and avoid pretty much all his traps. Took quite a bit of pressure there, so we're going to go in line of sight him behind this pillar and then heal up again with the number 2 and number 4 combo. And we're going to be up pretty much full health, drop our glyphs on point, knock back the Guardian, drop a number 5 to block his longbow skills, because most of his longbow skills are blockable, only the longbow 3 can go through that wall. We generated a nice down, we're going to interrupt the LE and then slow them all. So usually when you have a down, it's a really great opportunity to use your Celestial Avatar number 5 to slow people down, and that's pretty good. Then we're just going to pressure the Necro down, try and get him downed here. And we eventually do get him down because that's an outnumbered fight on his part. And then we're just going to stand here for a bit to try and heal up. And once he's down, we're going to head far. So as you see, the mobility from Staff 3 and Greatsword 3 is crazy. We share our boons with our pet whenever we use our heal skill as well. We're going to use our stability here. We see that there's 2 over here. And that we're going to probably warn our team. I'm pretty sure I type too far. So that's a really good thing to do, especially when you're solo queue. I'm duo queuing in this game, by the way, but we're not in TeamSpeak or anything. So I tell them that there's too far, so that can let them know that they're probably going to be incoming mid or home. And I see that on home there's only 1 Necro, so I don't need to go there. But I do need to go. I just wanted to tap the Necro to get a free kill, but I really didn't need to do this. I should have gone straight mid. But I saw the Ellie going the back way, so I knew it would take him longer to get to mid, so I had a bit of time. So you've got to really look at the map and know these things in the game, and this Ellie is going very low to a Dragon Hunter, which is bad. And then we see a Necro freecasting. I really like this fight here, it's a really good fight. We're going to see the Necro freecasting, we're going to knock him back and drop a line up there so he can't staff auto attack, but he decides to push on point. Probably not the best move on his part, but he actually gets the stomp here. We're going to try and slow him to get a chance to interrupt the stomp, but we didn't get to. Going to continue focusing the Ellie. This is a really good mid fight here. And we currently still own the point, so they're kind of making a bit of a misplay. But we're going to have to disengage here because one of our guys died. And as you can see, the Staff 3 is really good with the disengage there. So that's why I said you shouldn't really be dying with this build. We're going to use our glyphs to Condi clear as well, and then head back home just to regroup, because we have a Dragon Hunter going far. Then we're going to do a bit of off-point fighting here. It didn't go too well, it's a bit pointless, but it was pretty cool to see what happens here. And we're going to have to heal up a little bit. We got feared, and I hate the Condi pressure from Necro against this build. You can usually win 1v1 against Necro if you have your avatar form up, but if it's on 0, you have a pretty low chance of winning the 1v1. You've got to use your glyphs really wisely. So then this guy gets knocked back into Svanir by me, and then Svanir aggroes on him, so he takes a bit of pressure from that, and we're going to interrupt him there and chase him off point. So we're off point fighting right now. We should be ideally on mid, but we're winning the game by quite a bit. So we have 2 points right now, so we don't exactly need mid, but it would be better if we were fighting on mid right now. So I'm really thirsty for this kill. We're going to interrupt him, knock both of them back, get some staff pressure down, and drop a smoke field here. And then someone else got the stomp while I was pressuring. I'm going to chase the other Necro here, and this is a really weird 1v1. I made a lot of misplays in this fight. We're going to try and get a stun here, and that did nothing because he had stability. Then he Condi pressures us, we're going to daze him and then slow, so that's a really good combo again. He actually he actually walks out of the range of our slow. We're going to drop our glyphs. He has full Death Shroud, and we stayed in melee range. Whenever a Necro does the Death Shroud burst you want to get out of his range because they can easily burst you down, and we die right near the end of the match, so it was pretty much a 0-death match because technically we didn't die during the match, but we died after, and our team just stayed on point, got a nice pip from that. 140 points, pretty close to top score. We pretty much doubled the enemy team's score by going far. They actually had an advantage, they had a diamond on us, but that was the Decap Ranger build. Hope you guys liked it.